Hey girl, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Welcome to the Single Mommy Hustle.
Where's
Where's
my
that,
bell?
Joe? Oh
Uh,
no, we gotta do this over. We gotta do this over. Brr, 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 brr.
Rewind that.
Hey girl,
Hey, girl.
hey.
Hey. It's the Single Mommy Hustle.
Girl, that part. I appreciate that, Joe. I love
That's what's
that.
up. It's all right.
Welcome,
Everybody
everyone.
makes mistakes.
That part. I know I do.
I definitely do.
Everybody make mistake because we got the bell.
Yeah. The
Yes.
bell's important.
Look, the feedback I got last night
Man.
about the bells.
I've been getting a lot of feedback about the bell. So the people love the bell. You all love the bell?
Amen. I'll just say amen.
So, welcome to the Single Mommy Hustle. My name is Erica Murria. I am the executive director and founder of Supreme Transitions, nonprofit agency here in Detroit, and we assist survivors of domestic violence in several core areas with leads and referrals and wraparound services as well as case management. But this thing here, this thing we call the Single Mommy Hustle,
The single mamas.
it is the love child of me and Jessica, where we have real talk, good girlfriend conversations about pop culture um, items relevant to Black survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. We talk about everything, though.
Yeah, we do.
It's not limited at all. So, welcome. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, and as she has so introduced me already, I am the other mommy, the
She ain't
one,
single no more.
the not single mama of the Single Mommy Hustle podcast. Go ahead and pass the mic to our beautiful.
Imani on the mic. This is Imani. I am at Supreme Transitions and a single mommy here on the Single Mommy Hustle.
You ain't
Hey,
nobody's
you ain't nobody
mama.
got-
I'm
We're
single,
almost
though.
cuz.
Don't get no whooping.
Not
Well,
like,
that's how you wanted to break the news to us?
not like single mama, like single.
All right. Okay, single mommy.
I'm
Okay, Mamacita.
And here I am, Paula, also known as Quadira Vasilisa Kasima. We will never forget that name. Wherever I go, there I am. And I am a empty nester now. I used to be a mommy,
Oh, you
but
said
I'm a
mommy.
mother.
Oh,
And I'm
I get you.
single. So, I am a mommy.
Yeah, you're
Mommy now. I'm a mommy. And a mommy.
Mamacita.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we have to say out here, hey girl, hey, and what up, though? And we are streaming live from Detroit is different here in Detroit. Hey Kari,
Hey, Kari.
what up though? And we are also going to say what up though to Karma with Ujima, the National Center on Domestic Violence in the Black Community. I think I said that right.
Mhm.
I wasn't 100% prepared, but it is what it is, right? Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
And so tonight, what are we talking about?
Dr. Feel Good.
Giving them something he feel. Girl, I've been listening to my playlist after we came up with that title, okay?
Oh,
Dr. Feel Good. Very interesting topic. I think it's a very important topic though, to say the least. When we talk about being mental health awareness month, when we talk about the importance of going to the doctor on a regular basis, um, going to the dentist on a regular basis.
Definitely. The dentist is my favorite Dr. Feelgood.
very important, huh, Monty?
Awesome.
And then also making sure that we do mental health assistance, right? So I know everybody thought it was gonna be something.
They did. They did. They did. Ah, surprise. Gotcha.
Y'all thought we was talking about Dr. Phil good, like Dr. Phil good.
That is also important.
It is.
No,
Yeah,
it really
it is
is. That is. It is a very important part of
Healthcare,
health.
self-care.
Cardio.
Cardio is for sure cardio. If you're doing it right.
It with the right person, it is
Not 350
350 calories per hour for those of us who
Are
are
going an hour.
going an hour.
Hour.
Look at my face, an hour.
And when done properly, it can be good for the mental health.
That's very true.
It's great for the mental. So yeah.
It's beyond great for your mental health when done properly.
When done properly.
So that being said, we do have like a whole list of things that we want to touch on tonight, and we're thankful for everyone who subscribes and comes in. What is it? Oh, you can't read that. You ain't got your glasses on.
Make your skin. Oh, I got my
Little
I got my
special needs, but
I got my-
trying to read our notes.
I got my font this big.
She got disability.
That's 57 glasses that I ain't got on.
She got
Speaking of
57
the
font.
doctor,
Dr. Feel Good. I need to go see Henry Ford Optimize.
I was gonna say the ophthalmologist. What is they called? Ophthalmologist.
It's two different things. It's an ophthalmologist, TI, and it's an
Come on.
ophthalmologist.
Okay, so what's the
let's-
difference?
What's the difference?
So the difference is when you go get a regular eye exam and they just check for your vision and see, and they do the
Oh, that's the oculars.
oculars. Yes.
That's
That's
Octa is
yes.
It's eyes.
ocular.
But the TH,
Mhm.
they are looking beyond just the surface point. So with me in the health problems that I had, so we were going to do all of that, right? But with the health challenges I had, where I had a virus attack my brain at the base of my skull. At the base of my skull, everyone's skull is where your optic nerves are at. So there was damage to my optic nerves. And so the ophthalmologist, TH, they went back and took pictures of the back of my brain, specifically at my optic nerves, to measure how much damage was done and how much time it would take to repair those optic nerves for me to be able to come back to 20/20 vision without surgery. The goal is without surgery.
So to do that, they have to take numbing.
Yes.
Someone actually
Jessica came to the doctor with me. She saw me go blind.
no,
She had
like
to be my
they
CNI person.
Uh-huh.
my teeth is clearly working and not here because he had like the same reaction I had. But like when I had to get like they literally numb the corneas and they take this little poker and poke in your eyeball to make sure you can't feel it.
Like, can you feel that?
Okay.
Like,
Feel
can you feel that?
You feel that?
And your uncle was like, "You poking her eyeball?"
And Jessica did the same thing. She was in the room with me. She was like, wait a
It's
minute.
crazy.
You don't feel that? And the man was literally just poking my eye. And I'm like, poke it a little harder so I can see if I feel it. Like you don't feel anything once they put those numbing drops in your eyes so that they can literally put the thing on your cornea to measure.
To
Yeah.
Now I don't know about your experience, but that burned like hell.
It didn't burn for me.
Hellfire.
It didn't burn for me.
Because you didn't flinch like I did. Like I saw until I did. Yeah. Clearly my eyes. What? I wear glasses since the second grade. Me and these eyeballs, we barely hanging in here.
Thank God they still hanging in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we want to talk about the importance tonight of getting your annual screenings. It's very important to go to the doctor on a regular basis. It's very important to not wait until you have just symptoms that are being treated versus saying, hey, I don't feel okay. Can you help me start to figure out what is wrong? And so tonight, we ask for some respect. We ask for some grace because some of us are going to share our personal and lived experience as survivors of trauma that caused residual effects to our health. that has caused us to be on a extreme healing journey, and the need to seek out service providers who are uh, fit for us. Because regardless of if it is uh, a medical physician, OBGYN, a specialist, ear, nose, and throat specialist. What else we went to, just
Oh my God, girl,
we
we
done been
don't.
all
It's
of
got to be the whole hour.
endocrinologist,
Neurologist,
neurologist. Yeah.
neurosurgeon. Um,
Yes. Um, so all of these different specialists that exist, sometimes in the Black community, it's a very strenuous and serious process. And so tonight, the purpose of our conversation is to encourage people to stay the course, not just go. Don't just accept the diagnosis. Don't just accept the, yeah, well,
Right.
and especially for Black women, because of our body makeup and our size.
and I apologize for every wrong, but not just the Black community, but specifically Black women,
Yes.
because there is that stigma,
Yep,
that we can handle it all.
that
Oh,
part,
my
And
goodness.
that false narrative, that
Very
that our pain
extremely,
threshold is much higher than other people. That's been what they've been saying in science for a long time, back to slavery.
And it's also perpetrated in the medical community as well. I was just watching a video today about how people respond to the pain of Black women in childbirth.
Mhm.
And there was a nurse that actually spoke on that. And she was saying how she had to make sure that her Black female patients knew that they could trust her
Mhm.
because most doctors or nurses don't pay attention to the mothers who are in pain during childbirth. So it was a process that she explained about how there are many women who either died during childbirth
Mhm.
because their pain threshold or their
It got
needs
too
weren't
high and they
being
weren't
paid
believed,
attention
of
to.
course.
So yeah, that is true. And also, I'm a witness myself to being ignored by the medical system. So we definitely have to be on guard,
Absolutely.
And
be our
instantly,
own advocate.
because of how our bodies are made up, our body mass, and the way
Yes.
and the way
Oh my God,
it
that
is
BMI chart.
it's an instant assumption that we're just obese
Yeah.
and that we have poor eating habits or that we don't exercise or things of that nature. It's just not true because our DNA makeup is why we shaped the way we are. And sometimes, I'm going to say sometimes, it has absolutely nothing to do with your eating habits because you are built the way that you are built.
Cortisol has a big deal with that as well.
Now, cortisol.
So,
Now, let me give some clarity for those who don't understand or know what cortisol is. Cortisol is a fluid that is secreted in your brain, and cortisol's intention is to pad your body when you are in a state of fight, flight, freeze. And now they added a new one on there, which is fawn, right? So when your body senses that you are in danger, right, it triggers you to fight, flight, or freeze. And fawn means that it's similar to freeze, but it's that you appease, that you go into a state of, okay, whatever you want, okay, sure, sure.
Just
That's what fawn means, right?
yes.
And so fight, of course, we all know we're gonna fight,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right? You instantly taking off running.
Yes.
Danger, run, right?
Yes.
No hesitation. Fight, like freeze, you're completely immobilized. Something has happened, your brain is saying danger, and your body says don't move, completely freeze. But then fawn is the same as appease. So your brain is saying, do what you can to try to mitigate this circumstance. What can I say? What
Survive.
can I do to survive?
Survive.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but the dangerous thing about cortisol is if your brain secretes too much cortisol into your body, then it's almost deadly, it's lethal.
Mhm.
And that was similar to my circumstance when I said that the virus attacked my brain.
Mhm.
And so,
Mhm.
also cortisol in Black women, it populates primarily in your midsection. And cortisol weight is the easiest to gain and the hardest to burn.
Mhm.
That's
It
what I'm
is,
going
bro.
through right now, trying to burn all this in Avon. I was
A
told that
month?
my trainer told me I'm gonna end up in the hospital. So if y'all don't send me, y'all know why.
No,
You ain't going nowhere.
You're not doing
nothing.
that.
Because what do you say? If you die, I'll kill you.
Let's since you brought that up, we can just get to the end.
Yeah, go
Lord,
ahead.
you
Go
done-
ahead, Jess.
no, Lord. We would like to send our deepest sincere condolences to the family of my auntie
Yes,
Anna Mae, Tina Bullock Turner.
Yes.
For many of you that did not know, I am one of her self-inherited family members.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
that was I feel like my childhood is, of course, at 40. My childhood has been over for a long time. Like that hurt. Me and my mother cried all day.
Not all day.
Yeah, we cried all day. All day.
With Prince too. He was in there teared up.
She was
He
done.
ain't dead.
She was done with Prince.
Y'all remember? Y'all had to tell me, like,
Prince is gone.
Yeah, remember? Do you remember? Y'all kept saying, like, no, he is gone. Like, I didn't believe it. I didn't. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. He ain't dead. That's
I
a
went to his
lie.
house last year.
You should have
Yeah, I went on a Prince tour.
You should have taken me on that part. So we got to go back.
Yeah, we do.
We most definitely got to go back.
Yeah.
I actually had the opportunity to go to the secret location in Minneapolis where he did his private little, songs and things like that at the restaurant, at the bar. Yes, I did. Me and Jade went, actually. I'm bragging.
Okay.
Brr, 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 brr. And
called me though, like whispering.
So yeah, but with that being said, like I said, the fight, flight, and freeze and fawn, the cortisol weight is real.
Yeah.
But the process, it's a journey. Healing is a journey. There is no destination on this here journey, right? You're gonna keep going. And so I'm thankful, and I encourage others to have a accountability partner.
Because we've been saying that for years. It's like this whole, since we birthed our baby.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
This war.
Mhm.
I'm gonna call it a war because we've been going through some things over the years.
Yeah.
In relation to, just trying to heal in that, nature. So
That part, and it's important to have someone that we call like a safety person or a trusted person. And although Paula is new into my life, right, new into our lives, Paula ain't going nowhere.
Paula.
She has had some doctor's appointments, and I'll be like, well, what they say? And I ain't asked no permission. I just straight up asked, like, what they say? What they doing? How you feel about that?
Thank you too.
And
Thank you.
so on me and Jessica's journey over these years, we have asked each other, what's the prescription they gave you? What's the medication that they gave you?
So
I got to ring the bell for Janet.
What she say?
Ringing my bell.
Oh, Janet ringing her bell.
So, like the whole accountability partner, do you feel like that contributes to like the Dr. Feel Good of the like mental health and physical as well?
So I can answer.
Like, does it make you feel
I'll answer
better
after Jessica.
knowing that you have that person, knowing that I can count, well, not even count on, but just know that this person's gonna check on me, or I'm gonna always have to check on this person.
So for us, and again, I'm gonna say I pray that everybody has an Erica on
And a Jessica,
whatever journey they're on, because there have been times like we go to the doctor with each other. We go to the doctor with each other. Oh, well, is it okay if we gotta go through the whole disclosure?
we done sat up here and lied. I told one of her doctors I was her wife.
All right.
And we do that. And we do that. But it's like if she, not intentionally but neglects to ask a pertinent question, I'm asking it, and vice versa.
That's great.
So, like, we are those people for each other, or we stressed out because we've been prescribed so many medications. Girl, they done gave me another one. All right, we researching side effects.
Interactions.
We might need to find a different approach to this one because you can't always settle. When
And-
you know your body more than they know your body, right?
And I think, Monty, I think it's helped to have someone that you can be vulnerable with because it's very scary. And in the Black community, we've all been conditioned, and I hope I've done you and at least some justice to not do. But we've all been conditioned that what stays at home, what happens at home stays at home. And so you don't tell people your business. You don't tell people the intricate pieces. And then some of us have ventured into this thing we call life and have shared things with people, and then they use it against you, and then you get hurt. You know what I mean? Or you shared things and they manipulate you based off the things that you shared. And so it's a scary process to be able to say, I have someone that I can be completely honest with. But I think in like my circumstance, I thought my life was over. I didn't feel like I had anybody I could trust. Not a sibling, not a cousin, not an aunt, not an uncle, nobody. But she knew my medical health history. She knew my password. She knew my logins. She knew my birth. She knew all the information about me. And then she showed me without me needing her to show me or prove. She showed me I could trust her because I woke up and she was at my bedside. When I couldn't speak for myself, she was speaking for me. When I couldn't advocate for myself, she was advocating for me and saying, hey, what is that y'all put in her IV? Wait a minute, that's not her. She talked to my children and was like, so was she acting a certain way before yesterday? You know? Okay, so she wasn't. So something else is going on. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to ask the hard questions. And I'm not leaving her bedside until we figure this out. I'm not just accepting what they're saying to me as fact. Where's the research behind this? Show me something. And then when she starts to wake up and speak, you instantly come in here and you put something in her IV and now she's laying back out and she's incoherent.
It was like instantaneous. I'm like, wait a minute, she was just talking to me 5 seconds. And that's when I asked, like, what is this that you all are giving her? Like, is it knocking her out to the point where you all are thinking she's off her rocker, y'all finna send her up to the psych ward or something? Because that's not it. Like, what's going on?
What y'all giving
Like,
her is causing an issue.
Right.
And ultimately it was.
And it was because once they took me off, I was in there like, Jess.
Oh wow.
Hey, where you been, girl? And she laughing because that's what literally happened. I was like so happy.
She was
But
thinking I was in town. I was in Ohio.
Mm.
She was thinking I was
That
in
was
town.
that was she thought Monty was sitting in the room.
I didn't
Or
know
like,
what day
whatever
it
it was. I know what it was, but we're not gonna get into all those intricate
Mm-hmm.
details. But what they were giving her really had her so disoriented that she was like, "Oh, it's 1998. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yep. And that's
Did anybody
scary.
pick Money up from daycare? What?
Money is 19 in
25 years
college.
old.
She 48. You know.
So it's like, you have to have that support. You have to. It's very important, and I just, like I said, I pray.
But in vice versa, Money, I'm still answering the question. But in vice versa, and it wasn't a tit for tat, a tally mark. I loved her just enough to say, now, what did they say? And while we're on the phone, I'm typing a note. And what did they give you? Send me a picture of the prescription. And then we Googled together what that prescription was, what the side effects were, and then talking to her regularly. So you said you had dry mouth? You said you couldn't sleep last night? Okay, that was this is like the third night you couldn't sleep. You're a little restless. That's one of the side effects. So checking off what those side effects are and saying, yeah, make another appointment because you got too many of the side effects. This ain't working for you.
So what about people who we are encouraging to go to the doctor, regularly or whatever, but they don't have that person? How do you encourage them to be on top of their game if it's just you by yourself?
So I'm going to speak on that one particular time. Even you have to be cautious even with the doctor.
Yeah.
Because they're called practices for a reason.
For a
right?
reason.
You understand that?
Practitioner. yes.
So they are practicing medicine. They do not have all the answers. And a lot of times it's just us. Well, you know, I'm speaking from the platform of a Black woman. So we've already spoke on like they don't believe you all the time.
At
No,
all.
they don't.
They do not believe you all the time. You are looking at a Black woman that has been misdiagnosed,
Ooh, come on.
under medicated,
Come on,
over
come on.
medicated,
Mhm.
and you know they just didn't believe me a lot
And
of the
ignored.
time. Yeah, blatantly ignored.
Disregarded.
And victim blamed.
Ooh,
Let's
Oh,
talk about the
wow.
victim blaming.
I've been victim blamed. So with one of my medical conditions, I am here 20 years later, suffering through, because this is suffer, day-to-day suffer. I have idiopathic intracranial hypertension. So
IIH.
IIH.
I have the same diagnosis.
Pseudotumor
Cerebri.
cerebri. But so what that is for me, because it manifests differently in person to person. What that means for me is I am consistently in a state of dizziness. And you ever heard anybody mention tinnitus?
Tinnitus.
Yes.
Where it's a ringing in the ear.
Mhm.
So like this bell,
Is what you hear all day.
I hear that consistently. It never stops.
Mhm.
So like I hear it now. But some days or some times of the
Moments.
day, it's louder or it's not. And over the years, I got to be a mom always, right?
Mhm.
So it's like you just deal with it. Now, ultimately, what that condition means is your brain is convinced you have a tumor.
Yep.
So
That's what
my
pseudo
brain
comes in.
thinks it has a tumor,
And we do not have a tumor.
and we don't have tumors.
Yep.
Now, what I do have, because optic nerve, because this is another one of those conditions which affects your optic nerve. I have a mass in base of my brain,
Mhm.
it's your pituitary gland.
Yep. And that's the pituitary gland is what secretes cortisol.
Okay.
So you see that connection.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I have been told that eventually I am going to go blind. Like that's how severe mine is. Like eventually you're going to go blind. So when I can see it, as long as I can see it, I want to see it. But let's get back to how I was judged. I got this condition as a result of my domestic violence situation. So 20 years later, here I am still dealing with this. I have been asked, why did you wait so long? So my so long was 5 years ago is when I was like, I can't take this no more.
Because I started having other issues.
Wow.
So
I didn't connect
Why
in the
did you-
moment when
why
I
did
was
you
being
wait so long?
abused that I would 20 years later have tinnitus and a pseudo tumor.
well, the
Right.
tinnitus is
That's
they've always
interesting.
gave me the tinnitus. So it was tinnitus and migraines is what they were telling me I had. Because I have migraines. They feel totally different. My migraines and any symptoms I'm having in relation to my IH are totally different. But I had a doctor look at me and say, because you have to keep telling your story. Well, how a traumatic
That
brain
part.
injury. You got to keep telling your
Yes.
story
Over and over.
over and
again.
over. I
And
got to keep
regardless if you
reliving.
remember pieces, forget pieces, and then you'd be like, oh wait, I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Or you remember when you get home.
That
And
part.
in the midst of me overly annoyed, telling my story again for the 199th time, I had a doctor look at me and say, well, why
Why did you marry him?
Why did you marry him and keep having kids with him if he had did that to you?
Whoa. Whoa.
Bold. Brazen.
Beyond.
And I looked at her and I said, well, ma'am, 20 years later, that's not even relevant.
With a whole new husband.
Yes.
That's
A
not
good
even
one.
Got a
relevant.
whole different life now.
Because this is 20 years later.
But married at what? How was you? 18?
I was 18. So you are judged even by the medical professionals that you are entrusting to help you.
Now, with my
I agree.
IIH, judgment, victim blaming, and manipulation, when I got to a certain place with the ophthalmologist where they were like, okay, we could see some healing, right?
Mhm.
We may clear you to drive a car again. I start having more pain. And so they said, well, before we move forward, we need to send you back to your neurologist and then have them do some CAT scans and CTs and all this, whatever the case, right? MRIs or whatever. I go back to him, and y'all know I'm silly. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching his demeanor, and I'm watching how he didn't really seem to engage with me.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, Dr. Neurologist, Dr. Feelgood, what made you get into this field? And he looked, you know what I'm about to say. And so he was like, basically, well, I had enough credit. So,
Whoa.
and so I was like, oh, and he said, well, why do you ask? I said, because I just want to make sure, because if you ever wanted to be a DJ or a comedian, you don't need to be no neurologist.
No.
If this ain't your
This
passion,
had to be this got to be your passion.
because we talking about my brain, baby.
We're talking nerves.
Because you
all
ain't even
kinds of
looking at
things.
me while you talking and tapping away and just checking off stuff. You're not engaged with me.
Mhm.
So if this ain't your first love, you don't need to be my doctor.
Right.
I need you to be fully engaged with me right now. And he said, oh, well, we want to prescribe you XYZ PDQ. I said, no, I'm never taking that medicine again because it caused me to have seizures.
Yes.
Oh, well, we want you to take it anyway. No. How many languages do I have to say? Because if I got to get hood up in here, that's easy. He said, I'll be right back. He was not black. He was a person of color, but he was not black. He came back in with a black woman, neurologist. I looked at her. I was like, hey, what you about to say to me different than what he just said? Because my response is not going to change.
It's not going to change.
Right.
I just told you I have done my due diligence. I know my body well enough that their medication, I'm not taking no more. It don't work well with this molecular makeup right here.
Biosystem.
It don't work for me, and I'm not taking it. And she looked at me, and I looked at her. I picked my phone up, and I start texting. Like these mofos in here think it's a game. She ain't know what I was talking about. I'm at the neurologist right now, and so now I have disconnected, and I'm showing them I've disconnected. Y'all can go on out there. Both of y'all can leave and find me someone else. So thank God for my new doctor. Shout out Dr. Fatima.
Dr. Fatima.
I tell everybody about Dr. Fatima. She's a Muslim doctor. And I don't know if it's a cultural experience with her, because in their community, they honor and they reverence people and they listen to people on a whole nother level. I broke this thing down to her about my trial, my assault, all of the things that led up to me waking up in a new body. I literally woke up 100 pounds heavier and could not fit any of my clothes and in pain and couldn't ball a fist and couldn't step on the floor. And when I started explaining that to her, she said, okay, give me a second. She started looking through my records. Well, I don't see that they did this. I don't see they did that. Are you okay with me referring you outside of that hospital? Do what you got to do, sis. But make sure they listen to me. Every doctor she has sent me to, including the endocrinologist. Because I told her, I said, you looking at a bigger body, but this don't have nothing to do with my diet. This don't have nothing to do with my physical activity. I said, I have always been a clean eater. Everybody who knows me know I ain't eating no gluten. I don't eat nothing. I said, ma'am, if I eat anything less, I may as well just keep drinking water all day. Like, tell me what is happening. Don't treat the symptom. Figure out what system is broken and fix it. If we're not going to fix the system, don't send me to a weight loss doctor that want to do surgery on me, because I don't need to reroute my intestines.
Right.
I ring my own bell on that.
No, that's real.
Don't
And
look
they'll
at
have
me
you
from the
thinking that.
outside and assume that
Mhm.
I'm not doing everything possible that I can for my health.
Mhm.
Just like the mental health physician in the middle of that storm. I was telling my sister and Jessica, I was putting it on. We had a joint calendar.
Mhm.
They knew every
That was
single.
when we started sharing our calendar.
Yep.
Mhm.
We had a
Okay.
joint calendar. They knew every single appointment I had with this mental health physician.
Mhm.
They knew
Mhm.
every single medication that I was taking. And they would check in. And I'd be like, you know what? I'm so thirsty, Mom. I feel like I done smoked some weed today. I ain't smoking no weed. I can't remember things.
Mhm.
I'm having brain fog. I'm telling them the things like I don't feel okay. Well, what does that mean? I'm describing it to a T, whether it was Alicia
Yes.
or Jessica. I'm telling them. And then I told my dad, who does mental health services, right, on a master's level. And I was like, I don't want to see him no more. He came to that psychiatrist's office with me and was like, yeah, she don't like that.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
He
That's good.
refused to titrate me down.
Whoa.
He refused. And I'm at
There
home
is-
suffering
Mhm.
and making
is-
safety plans with my children.
Yes.
If we at family members' houses and I say I don't feel good, let's go.
But it's time to
Right.
go. Yeah.
For my oldest daughter who could drive, you might have to make this drive.
Mhm.
I don't
Yes.
feel well. That was our key word. I don't feel
Yes.
good. And I could be laughing and joking and everything at the family dinner. I don't feel good.
Mhm.
Because it would just hit me like a ton of bricks. The nausea, the dizziness. And so it was so many different
Yes.
compound things that I had to literally go and do a week in a neuro clinic.
Mhm.
And one doctor, after they said, you don't have a brain that's prone to having seizures. You're not an epileptic. It's
That's
got to
same
be
thing
the
I had
medical
too.
countering the medicine countering each other.
The medication.
He said, stop
Yes.
taking all of it. He said, I'm not supposed to say this on the record. Stop taking all of it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And when I did, I stopped having seizures. And I was
Wow.
able to start healing.
Yes.
But it's important. It's a process. And I am not discouraging anyone with my testimony to not seek out those different specialists because it was
Right.
needed at the time that I went.
Also, I want to say, in no way are we telling anyone
To
not
not
to
take your
take your medication.
Take your
So
medicine.
And we're
Do
not giving-
do what you are told to do.
Mhm.
You know what works for you. So do that, because we are not medical professionals. We are only sharing our experiences.
Yes.
So,
this isn't to be taken as
But the
medical
trauma
advice.
effects, right? The
Yes.
trauma that happens to you, a human being, may not immediately show up.
Yes.
It may take 15 to 20 years.
15 to 20 years.
Yes.
Or in my case, it happened. I was just on autopilot. It was happening. And I prioritized
Other
a mother.
things.
I
Right.
being a
Yep,
mother. I
that part.
prioritize
Same here.
being a mother. Like I can't be weak. I can't fall out. I have literally I've lost jobs
Mhm.
due, solely off of my medical condition.
Same here.
I'm talking about
Yes.
jobs that hated, like we really don't want to let you go. Like you one of our best
Yes.
workers.
Yes. I
But
believe you.
you're taking too much time off work.
And I want to highlight what Cheddar
Yes.
said. Hey, girl. Hey. Love you, Cheddar Boo. That's the Cheddar sauce.
Hey, Cheddar.
Cheddar said, black doctor teams rock. You sometimes you just got to deal with people that understand your cultural
That-
experience.
That is true. That is true.
Other than the lady from
Yeah,
a few days ago.
The lady, Jessica had a lady the other day. I was like, where's she at? What's her name? I'm Googling her.
she
Uh-huh.
was judging the baby. And everybody know how I
Oh,
feel about
wow.
my baby,
Mhm.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Not my baby, Miss Dr. Ma'am. In this nice establishment, ma'am. Not this baby laying on this gurney, ma'am. You about to be calling security. You say that one more time.
Not the babies.
And I told
Mhm.
Jessica, I said, you should have turned into a full camera, Karen, and pulled your camera out and said, what did you say? I need to get that on record.
Not this here, this one right here, not this one.
Because
Mhm.
sometimes when you got to check them in the rawest ways, you ain't got to get hood.
Mhm.
Right.
But
let
you got to
'em know.
sometimes you got to be a black Karen. I'm sorry, not in my community. What did you
Yeah.
say?
I'm sorry, I don't fully understand.
Money almost spit out her water.
Mhm.
Not in my community. Okay.
Mhm.
But it's very real. And so, like the accountability partner, helping you to monitor the medications that you're on, helping you to monitor your side effects is essential.
Also, we need to touch on another important thing. I'm not sure if we put that. Everyone needs to know they have access to their medical records.
That part. Come
Amen.
on.
I have seen some of the blatantness, and I'm gonna say it
Blatantness.
lies. I have seen some things that never even came out of my mouth documented in my medical record.
Mhm.
You also reserve the right to request that your medical record be corrected.
Yes. Help the people.
Because I had a doctor say, "Oh my gosh, she gets a greatest,
Not the
nice,
greatest.
the greatest of night's sleep."
Well, since
Ma'am.
when?
Ma'am, when did I say that? What gave you that impression? Because these other 4 doctors said that I don't know how you sleep at night because you stop breathing.
What about sleep apnea is real?
396,000 times a night. You supposed to been that.
You done died, levitated, and
So
came back.
what make you more of an expert than these other 4 people?
Right. And the sleep apnea doctor said,
Let me drink to that.
not drink to that, drinking water.
But
And again, y'all will see me on social media saying, drink water.
please drink your water.
You
Please
have
drink
to
your water.
drink water.
Please.
Okay.
And take your naps.
And take your naps.
Naps are very
Yes.
important. If you can take a nap.
No, you gotta
Yes.
take a nap.
No, because everybody can't take.
Take your nap.
I just
Go
saw
lay down.
If
that.
I get,
Hit it, money.
if my body say nap,
Hit it, money. Go lay down.
oh, y'all got a song like that? Oh, is it?
I'm about to go lay down.
Yeah, because we have a hard time sleeping at night.
And
So
a
if
part of not sleeping at night, but the nap piece, right? Culturally and systemically, we have been told that if we rest, we are
Mhm.
being lazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
And that's a lie.
Well,
Man, you been getting your nips.
You
I
be
get my
taking-
naps, but it's not that it's lazy. It's just like when you
It's not
when
lazy.
you get into that state of, the not healthy
Man,
mental
you look
health.
so pretty.
She is
you.
gorgeous. Thank you so much for her. Thank you to her biologicals.
I am
she
a
is
single mommy.
beautiful.
She gonna get a whooping.
But,
damn mommy.
I was getting into the whole naps are not lazy, but it's just when you get into those
Into a
dark
depression.
terms,
A
yes,
depression
into
is
a
what you're trying to say. Like,
it's different because now you need to get up. No, you can't take
No.
a nap for the 13th time
You
today.
can't take a nap
Not-
all
okay,
day.
and you're in the
okay,
dark,
so
and your room is getting
That's
messy.
good,
And-
money. That's
Yeah.
good.
in
It's
relation to
different.
depression, though, you can't say you got to get up because if you're depressed, you can't get up.
Mhm.
No, I know.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
don't get up, and you can't get up, and
Look
I
at
want
Ted
you to
talking about
know,
Belle.
But it's hard to get up.
I want you to know it's okay to not be okay.
Mhm.
So, because that's a
Say
lot
it
of
again.
pressure.
I ain't hear you. Say it again.
It's okay to not be okay.
Amen.
Double bell.
We are human beings.
Amen.
We are not robots.
Amen.
We don't run on batteries. We don't run on petrol.
That part.
And if you don't rest,
You gonna burn out.
But no, what I was
physically
getting at was
rest,
just
mentally
the
rest?
too much rest in those states.
That part, and so
'Cause-
that
No,
part,
there is
and so we didn't talk
too much of
even
anything.
about the mental health piece.
too
We
much
dabbled
you
and
need
dabbled
to
about the
die
mental health
off
piece.
of oxygen. Too much oxygen to kill you too.
Yeah,
Well, too much of anything.
too
No,
many
I know. I'm just adding. I'm just
moderation.
Everything
Healthy
in
You
moderation.
gotta breathe.
But
Please
the other
don't
part
stop breathing.
though, and so I'm looking at our clock and I'm thinking about our list, and to take into consideration what Imani just said is very important. You have to be able to acknowledge when you are outside of a healthy scope of rest, because that
Right,
is
that's true.
a sign of depression.
And a lot of people don't recognize that.
Yeah.
too.
I recognize it once everything is all
Or
over.
not getting enough sleep, where you have that insomnia and you're just up.
Anxiety,
Anxiety,
depression.
yep. It goes hand in hand. And so
Mhm.
it's important, yes, take your naps. You know, I created the group, the enforcement committee on naps, and I take my job seriously.
I think you need to add into that with the naps, use that as a moment of rest
Yes, ma'am.
because
I take into consideration all this.
that's where I know
Point of order. Point of order.
That's the thin line between the depression and the because a lot of people sleep. I get a lot of sleep.
I sleep a lot too.
It's
It-
still
It's a big
tired.
difference between
Because you ain't resting.
because you're not resting.
Right,
Mhm.
right. You have
How
to
you do it.
unplug.
So
Mhm.
you do.
I'm learning how to
Um,
unplug.
sleep. You have to have healthy sleep hygiene.
That.
So what is
What
That.
is that?
Y'all just throwing
Yeah,
this
no,
terms.
no. This
I
is what
wanna
we
know
have
what that
learned.
is.
Go ahead, Jess. Teach the folks, Jess.
Enlighten
Educate them.
me, 'cause I got
So
it.
you have to have healthy sleep hygiene.
Okay.
So it's just a
You see the hand?
because that's how Dr. Feelgood broke it down to me, right? Because I do not. You cannot.
I do.
Begin to. I don't know. She don't need it because she be on the phone with me. But you can't be on the phone with Erica and Jessica
And 2 in the
while you
morning.
in the bed
Watching a
laying
movie.
down.
Got your phone playing a
because-
reel on Facebook.
So they say you shouldn't.
wrong with that?
You shouldn't lay in the bed
Stimulation.
and watch. You should not lay in the bed and watch television. This is what they say.
Because I fell asleep watching my ghetto TV and woke up
But guess
on that
what?
ghetto time.
You're not supposed to have a
Mm.
television in your bedroom
Yeah.
because your
Really?
body
Yep.
will get accustomed to laying down
the
and
light.
watching television
Mhm.
instead of laying down
To
and
rest.
resting.
Yep.
So, and then you have to have a consistent time
Yep.
where you
Stop.
just stop, you lay down and you rest.
Well, you
Um,
teaching good, girl.
Mhm. I've been breaking all those rules. Everything you just said,
All my
I'm the
life.
total opposite.
Well,
all my
Paula,
life.
I challenge you
yes.
to go and see a sleep doctor, sleep medicine doctor,
sleep.
sleep medicine.
Okay.
DMC is the best here
I
in
have-
Michigan.
Actually, you're talking about for sleep apnea.
Yes. Henry
Well,
Ford is
no,
Sinai
no,
Grace.
diagnosed
no,
me
don't
with
say
it.
sleep apnea because no, that's not
But
it.
it's sleep medicine,
It's
and
sleep
they
medicine.
it
So
is.
What
you
do
have-
they do there?
if you
They'll
have-
do an assessment, and if needed, they'll refer you to the doctor to test you for a sleep apnea deficiency or whatever the case. But
Yeah.
the sleep medicine doctor, they do a series of different tests or whatever the case,
Mhm.
and they consult with
Yes.
you about your habits, how you
Okay.
get ready for bed, how you unwind, how you get ready in the morning. And so, like Jessica said, those were some key points. Like, it blew my mind. I
Yes.
completely remodeled my bedroom. My
Mhm.
computer, my desk used
Scenery.
to be in my room.
scenery is very because you
My desk and
Also-
computer I used to get off my computer and get all into the bed, get out of the bed, get right on my computer,
See, now this
and not
is
separate
something.
the space.
This is
And
absolutely shiny,
that's
absolutely,
cheddar.
Oh, sleeping and loving. Ooh,
absolutely
That part.
absolutely.
But so they will tell you
mm.
like at least 10 minutes before you go to bed, stop looking at anything that stimulates your
phone?
brain.
because that's
Turn the lights down. Stop looking at your phone. Stop watching TV.
But who gonna talk to me while I'm sleeping?
You don't need nobody to talk to you.
Girl.
But you know what? I have Audible. And so I
Okay.
listen to books sometimes.
I
I'll
need
play
snores or
Audible.
something.
Yeah. Audible, put on a YouTube, put on a Pandora. But you need to stop all stimulation because the lights, and
Yeah,
a lot of people
blue
don't
light.
know. I'm a super nerd, if people didn't know.
All right.
But a lot of people don't
I
know
think they
that
know.
with marketing, with television, even now the streaming services, it's a
Mhm.
position on your screen where they strategically put images that keep you stimulated. And if you close your eyes, I challenge you tonight, if you close your eyes while your TV is on, you'll see flashes
of that same
light.
image,
And I do see.
like
flashes.
in a
It'll
negative,
just be light,
like in a
literally, and
negative,
you
yeah.
can see a negative of that image.
Mhm.
And they
Mm.
do that intentionally. So even when you get ready to nod off and the TV is flashing at you, they
Mhm.
do that intentionally to keep you watching.
Well, this
It's
has
a
been
part of
working.
marketing. And so that's a part of your sleep hygiene, is
Okay.
reducing all of those things.
Mhm.
Some people need melatonin.
Yeah, melatonin.
Some
doesn't
people
work
need
for me.
sleep
That's a
aids.
joke.
Now, sleep aids are not drugs and
do.
alcohol.
It's
I have a
not.
sleep aid.
What?
Fun fact,
No.
guys. I I have a sleep aid.
What is that?
I also have the best husband in the world because he deals with my sleep aid.
Okay.
My sleep aid is True Crime Podcast.
That part. Ew.
That's scary.
True crime.
I love it.
I go to sleep.
I went to sleep last night listening
So
to
I don't.
It's
And
The
I'm gonna
Bundy.
be. Which one?
Bundy Diaries.
That don't sound like healthy sleeping habits.
No, it is.
It is.
Listening to like
It
Bundy.
is. It is.
Ted Bundy is
So
my
don't
guy.
judge me.
I'm not
So,
No judgment.
I
No tea, no shade.
listen to the different megahertz. I listen to. It depends on the mood. But regardless of the mood, 9 times out of 10,
True crime.
Kendall Ray is my girl.
I don't really like Kendall Ray,
It's okay. You don't have to.
but I have listened to her.
you don't have to like Kendall Ray.
I don't like
YouTube?
Kendall Ray
On
because of her
YouTube?
cadence.
Yes.
She's on
Okay,
YouTube
I'm
and
gonna check that
Facebook,
out.
but it's the cadence
like
of
you know
how
what,
she
and it's-
speaks.
I
I
don't
don't
like them
like
ladies
it.
who
It's
had like them radios
changed
in their
since she
room.
had the baby.
Because he probably know that I don't like her.
That's okay.
You know,
It's
like
okay.
them wooden radios playing the stories. That's
Yep,
what they
it is. Give me one of them. Now I'm looking at this
I
clock
know
though.
exactly what
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about.
Okay.
So you know how I am. So, the process of finding the right medical doctor, dentist, OBGYN, specialist, and mental health care person. We did not talk about the dentist. Imani mentioned it.
Yeah, 'cause I love it.
People need to understand, and I learned this from my sister, who is a master's RDH. I don't know if I said that right.
It don't matter. It sounds exclusive.
RDH, what is that?
Registered dental hygienist.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bam. That's a Jeopardy question. Jeopardy. So my sister is a master's level
Okay.
RDH, but she told me years ago that dental hygiene is the oral systemic link
To all your stuff.
to all your things. A dentist can
Okay.
literally diagnose everything that's happening in
Mhm.
your body by looking in your mouth.
Mhm.
Mm. Okay.
And so me and Elise found out on accident that you have to go to the dentist twice a year, every 6 months. So you should be going every 6 months to get a regular dental
To get a
checkup.
cleaning.
Whether you have Medicaid or regular insurance, even on Medicaid, it is approved. It is a preventive. Don't let nobody don't say preventative. It is a preventive.
Could you explain, in case we have some viewers, really quickly, preventive? Because people be stressing about co-pays.
Right.
And like I can't do that, girl, because my copay and my
And my
out-of-pocket and what is this deductible from the lady that worked? Should I have been the
You
one?
you should have been the one.
Oh, I was gonna say
You
that.
can explain what preventive care is and
Preventive care.
Preventive, not
The lady that
Jessica
works,
is a professional in billing and coding. I dabbled in it a little bit, but she is the pro.
the lady
Okay.
that did it for lots of years. So preventative cares, they are covered. They should be covered at 100%.
Mhm.
Okay.
They should be covered at 100%.
That's
Nobody
right.
should be telling you have a copay.
Obamacare, Medicaid, Medicare.
They should
Whatever
not
your
say you got to
insurance
give
is.
us so that's
Wait a
the
minute.
cancer
You see,
screen-
Cheddar? I gotta check it in the savings.
Just
So
like
listen.
how I got a mom and a dad insurance.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
Imani. I got a mama and a daddy's insurance.
You only got a couple more years of that, baby.
It's okay.
You only got a couple more
She
years
said
of
I'm
that.
using it.
You better.
Just let my daddy know I said
But
don't lose
yes,
my
so
job.
those cancer screenings, us ladies that are embarking
On
on
40.
um,
Hashtag
those-
E40. Hashtag E40.
That's what we're doing in Charlotte. I like. So those mammograms, you don't have to have a copay. Those pap smears, those annual physicals, things of that nature. Though
Mhm.
you shouldn't have copays, for
Especially not at the
those,
dentist.
because
So
those
those
are
It is
preventive.
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 There you go. There you go. We'll take it. As long as you know,
You know what you're
Go.
going to get.
as
Go
long
in there
as
and
you
tell them, I
know
want the
you
preventive.
need to go.
The preventative. I want the percent of care.
They're gonna know. They're gonna know. So just go. There you go.
Just the
For
percent
a
of care.
percent of care.
Sound like my grandma. Can't say nothing.
So what is
And she work in the medical field.
She be saying the percent of care. Trying to get your percent of care.
what is next? Shout out
Shout out to Big
to
Glow.
Big Love.
Hey, Big Glow 357. Big Glow set us down in high school. Let me tell you something about your preventive.
She ain't never played with us. Never.
So-
she's the main one enforcing go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And you better get
See,
that.
Big Glow was old school. Big Glow pulled up some pictures and said, "This what you want your butt to look like?"
Ooh. Ooh. Ouch.
I was like, "I ain't even your relative. Why you
Are
doing
you
me like
supposed
that?"
to be showing me that?
But she is my relative. That's my other mother, and I'm thankful for her in my life. So, integration of spiritual practice, non-traditional healing, trauma-informed, culturally specific services. Do it.
Mhm.
Sounds like we might need a part
You said we might need to what?
two.
Huh?
Part two.
So
We
I
can
just
do
wanted to
that one
mention it.
day.
I just wanted to mention it
We can do that.
because it is essential. Some
Yes, it
people
is.
are still under the fog of white is right. White is right.
White is right.
People are still under the fog that white is right.
I don't even eat
The
white bread.
coat.
That part.
You,
Damn.
you better say it, and I bet not ever see you eating none.
We don't know what that is.
Cause
Trying to
what's
get all the
that?
bread all the way.
That part. But white is not always right.
Mm,
If they don't understand your cultural experience, if they don't understand where you come from, why your culture
Yes.
does the things that they do,
Mhm.
and how to incorporate your specific culture, because Black people are not a monolith. A monolith meaning one. I'm different than this one, and this one is different than you, and y'all is different from me, and y'all is different from her, and all of us are completely different. We don't worship the same. We don't bathe the same.
Mm-mm.
We don't get our hair done the same. We don't believe in certain things the same. Black people are not a monolith, and all of us look similar. Jessica could be Caribbean. You could be Haitian, but we all are a shade of brown. So you can't assume. And so you have to be able to tap into your culture, find a doctor that respects your culture, respects your beliefs, even if it's non-traditional.
Exactly.
Like Lisa talked about the auricular.
Yes.
I said that?
You did. You
Okay.
did that.
Auricular.
She been
So-
practicing with Dr. Kendall Bright.
so those things are important. And your spiritual beliefs. For those who have spiritual beliefs, Black people are not a monolith.
That's true.
We got Kojic, Baptists, Black Catholics,
agnostic.
we got all kind of different
Yes.
spiritual beliefs in the Black diaspora and the African diaspora. And
Yes.
if your doctor is imposing anything on you that is not what you believe, run.
Yes.
So those things.
That was
Vetting, guys, it is okay to go through a whole vetting process of your medical professionals, because this is your body, your life, your health, not theirs.
And you're the biggest investment of your
So
own
you
life.
can decline. No, I want nothing else to do with you, because Dr. Judgmental,
Yes.
I ain't gonna never see her again. I reported her.
You better
I
have.
sent a
So glad you did.
long letter. And
Write
everything
them
else.
letters.
I ain't gonna never see her
Write
again.
them letters. Write them letters.
And it's okay.
And
because
tell other people who can't write. Because there's some of us who can't write. I write it for you, sis.
I surely will.
You send it. Let me show you how to send it. I will help you. And that's the importance of talking, because these people cannot continue to misservice, disservice,
Mhm.
unservice, whatever you want to call it,
Non-service.
non-service
Yeah.
our community and continue to harm us.
Mhm.
The goal is to feel better. The
And-
goal is to feel good.
And really quickly, I believe it may have been Janet. Really quickly, I want to say this: Black women, we are super women,
That part.
but let's just be honest, we are not superwoman.
Yes, I
And you know, I love
am.
Wonder Woman, and but guess what? We are human beings,
That part. Come on.
That's
and
true.
Human,
I have
flesh,
sat
blood.
in a white woman's face,
Yes, ma'am.
and checked her on her bullshit, because you aren't properly treating
Come
me.
on.
Amen.
Because I'm a Black woman.
You better say it.
And I say that.
And you judge me.
You judge me
Mhm.
because you heard me coming here. You said I said I got 4 kids. I got this going
Come
on.
on.
I
You
got
heard
this
me say I'm
going
a
on,
single mama.
and I got,
Right.
because at the time I was.
Mhm.
And I got this going on, and I got this going on.
You seen
So-
I ain't had no real insurance. I had Medicaid.
Well, I had the VA.
I'm
But
talking about
same
me.
thing.
I'm talking about
you
others.
telling your story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel you.
Discrimination.
But
Mhm.
because I mean I do got both. It is what it is. But you judge me. You judge me. You are not properly treating me
Mhm.
because you think
Under
I
an
got
assumption.
it under control.
Mhm. because Black women can
Or you
handle
don't
anything.
need it,
When I
or
do
you
not.
don't- Right.
You're
And
right.
I told her I am not leaving out of your office today without an answer. That makes sense.
I told the girl, where your supervisor at?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I don't want to talk to you no more. I stepped right to the side. I'll wait. Well, ma'am, somebody else came. Are you the supervisor? No. All right, I'll wait. This white man came out the back. Ma'am, how can I help you? Thank you for greeting me properly. Can we step into your office? I'm not
Does it
talking to
HIPAA?
you at this front desk about
Right.
nothing.
And I have told the doctor my disabilities are not cognitive.
You better speak the language. You better speak the
My
language.
disabilities are not
Mhm.
cognitive.
You
No
are
dis-
upsetting my disabilities.
You are upsetting it
Oh,
because they're
my.
not cognitive. Thank you so much.
We love
'Cause
you,
they-
Joe.
So
We didn't do
much.
our shout out to Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey.
We did.
We love you,
But
Angel
yes,
Joe.
you gotta check them on their bullshit.
All-
you know,
all the time?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Unapologetically.
you an expert in this condition, but
Mhm.
I'm an expert in me.
And me, girl.
All right.
Yes.
So yeah,
Be
Mm.
assertive.
you can't just tell me anything about me because I'm dealing with me every day. I'm the
Every
only person
day.
got to deal with me.
And my children.
No, they don't even got to deal with me.
No, and so I said that because during my hardest time,
Oh yeah,
my kids got a different version of me every single day.
I know mine is like this.
They had to be the ones to wash the
this
clothes
lady.
and do the dishes and clean the house. And my mama run you a bath. Hopefully you get in it,
Mm,
right?
Thank God you got support.
Thank
Mhm.
God, right?
Yes.
But even with my mom, when she was sick with lupus,
Mhm.
I got a different version of my mama every day.
Right.
We
Same
do
as me.
this. This is what we do in our community.
Yes,
And we don't put our people out the past.
And there ain't no awards for this.
it
Right.
surely isn't.
Mm-mm-mm.
But we winning.
So we're gonna be respectful to Kari because we love you, Kari. So,
Kari.
so before we go, we did not do our round table. Real quick, if anyone has an SMH moment in the last week that you want to share, our SMH moment is one thing that makes you shake your head or makes you laugh or something. Did you just want to share? Nothing too intrusive. We're not gonna pry unless you want to share, unless you're gonna do it. Paula, what's your SMH moment this week?
Oh, well, tell you what, I had a really good moment today. I
Mhm.
took a nap. Guess how long it lasted? Maybe about 20 minutes.
That's
That's
okay.
I forgot to turn my phone off. So, but
You
anyway,
got to recharge. It's okay. If
it actually
20-minute
worked.
recharge.
This was my first nap in a long time.
Ooh,
But my body
Good.
shout out to the
told me
first nap in a
I
long
needed
time.
to take this nap.
Mhm.
So about 5 o'clock, I laid my big head down.
Shout out to resting the neck.
Yes.
Not the neck though. Monty, you got an SMH moment this week?
My SMH moment. I'm sorry.
Not my water.
Sorry about that. Nice tumbler. That's a nice.
I know.
It's very nice. Oh, that's cute.
Thank
My
you.
SMH moment is I went to go get me a Bible, and I didn't realize it was so many. No, I got the NIV.
Okay.
Good. Good choice.
Go.
Yes.
That's a good
But I didn't realize I'm at the daggone Barnes and Noble. I'm like, which Bible? I almost called my mom. I'm like, which Bible do I
You
get?
are there.
Like,
You know you
which
called.
one?
You should have called me. I would
Which
have
Oh, you
told
ain't
you.
No,
call-
I didn't.
you
I
know
didn't
she-
call. But I'm
Oh,
like, which one did I
yeah.
get? Then the white lady. I'm sorry.
It's okay. She is a white lady.
She is a white
she's
lady.
woman.
But
It's
the white
okay.
lady at the counter, she didn't help me because she was like, I think this one, and I was like,
She didn't know.
She don't read the Bible.
she don't
She
read the
didn't-
Bible, so I'm
it's
like, you
okay
can't
that she
tell
didn't
me.
read the Bible.
She a
either. She didn't know.
Scientologist.
Yeah, so I'm like, astronomer. When we look up the Luna, the Luna Scientologist, whatever.
I'm not finna play with her.
But she was like, yeah, I guess this is a good one. So hopefully the Bible I got.
So
is a
you
good
just come on, just keep going. We'll talk about this after. 'Cause
one.
we
So no, that
press
was
for times. Hey, Curry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
that was my SMH moment. I didn't realize it was that many
Um,
Bibles.
It is. It's a lot.
Versions.
And it's
Study
study
Bibles,
Bibles. Yep.
um,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I guess
You
mine
should have
is
went on 7 Mile and Schaefer across the street from Greater Emmanuel.
Bible World.
Yep.
Oh, they got the
God's World.
God's word.
God's World. Sorry, Ma, because boy, I stayed in there as a kid.
What they got
Sorry,
the
God's
Bible?
World. Huh?
They got the original
Girl,
Bibles.
God's
They got
world.
everything.
God's world. So
not with
I
y'all.
briefly just told y'all a snippet of Kendall's Dr. Feel Good, but what really bothered me was like that she kept not just her. Everyone through triage, multiple people that came in there kept asking him like, what are your pain levels? And if we have
Wow. Ooh, that's
anyone
good.
that's in the medical professional, can y'all inbox me? Like, is that customary to ask like 5, 6, 7-year-olds like, what are your pain levels on a scale of 1
Because
to
he
10?
don't know.
I mean, but we know Kendall different because he was very persistent on.
He do though. If it
He
hurt,
kept
it
saying it. No,
Kendall.
he kept saying 5, and with the condition, it was like, dog, you ain't eating.
5.
Kendall wasn't eating. Come on, dog.
It's a 1.
Mhm.
No, it was a 10.
It's a 7. It's, an 8.
It's a strong
Oh, 1 is okay. 1 is
Yeah.
10.
See, if you
being the
don't
worst.
even know,
How did they expect for him to know?
1 is
That
low,
point
10 is high,
point
then
proven, but
5 is
inbox
high.
me, hit me up. E, you got one, babes.
that's a major moment.
Yeah.
Just went out my head.
God dang it.
That's train of thought. Derailed.
Well, you know, I don't mind for self-care purposes unfriending, unfamilying, uncousining,
Mhm.
all of the things.
Mhm.
Water.
Because you're on a strict what?
I'm on a strict energy diet.
Extremely.
If it doesn't feel like
Right.
love,
Right.
peace,
Jill.
or joy,
Jill.
TikTok,
Jill.
I don't want it. I don't want none of it.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to get very detailed on this SMH moment, but I was very upset. I felt disrespected and ignored by someone that I care about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I put them on the block list on all things.
Who, me, girl? You just texted me yesterday.
I love you.
I get off the block list.
Shut up.
I got through.
She blocked me
'Cause-
one day.
I will. I will block.
you know she was blocked.
Don't call me no more. Don't text me no more. But I put that person on the block list, and then I had a conversation with another friend, and she was like, "But what if?" And she said something that blew my mind about people secretly going through things that they're ashamed of,
That you have no idea.
that you have no idea about.
And you have to extend that grace. Extend that grace in a way that is healthy for you.
I was about to say,
'Cause-
sad case, they still block.
Yeah.
Go
So
through it
guess
or not.
what? You know,
They
no
still
love
block.
lost. They still block.
Wait,
Grace
because
extended.
I
and they
can see
still
my
block.
block messages, and the fact that you ain't even said ouch. You say ouch, I might unblock you. But but she brought something to my attention. I was like, dang, I'm hanging up. I don't want to talk to you no more.
Yeah, because you know you need those eye-opening moments. So,
Yeah. And so that was my SMH moment, was like, it is a time, it is a place, it is appropriate to have your boundaries, to protect yourself, to stand your ground. But sometimes is it even worth it? Like going that extra mile to go out of your way to do the unfriending, the uncousining, the whatever it is. And sidebar on this SMH moment, if my cousin Chelsea don't come over this weekend to help me clean out my garage.
You're Sandra Bullock.
I'm so happy she put it on the cousin Chelsea and not the cousin Jazz.
All cousins can get it.
Because you can this cousin.
Not
Oh,
Ashley.
okay, I got
We
a
can't
cousin.
block Ashley.
Oh, not Ashley.
No,
Ashley's special.
not Ash.
Ashley's never
Not
on the block
Asher's granny.
But I will do my cousins. Them cousins know who they are. I don't need a lot of help, and I be cooking. I be making meals while they help. The help is them doing it.
Let's go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Let's wrap this thing on up, ladies. Let's
okay.
wrap this thing on up.
So, how do you fill your cup? I filled my cup this week. Well, 2 ways. One with margaritas. I'm sorry if that offended anyone.
Who would you offend?
Anyone who is in that family
that.
of people who generally say
They'll
those
be
things.
okay.
Okay. So that, but I also have,
What in the world?
because these
Me and Paul over here too.
You do know you eat 40, right?
and I'm Hispanic.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's
I don't
the
like
offense.
it. I
That's-
feel offensive.
that's
I feel like
offense.
I feel like y'all
Sen-
offending my ancestors.
Señorita Muria.
Muria, that is me. So
I know, boo.
Next.
my last
next
name
caller.
is Spanish, but next caller. But I've also filled my cup this week by doing a hard stop at 10 p.m. I have no TV. Well, my TV don't. But I've been in the bed at 10 o'clock.
Mine.
Mm-hmm. She's
My-
so extra today.
Yeah.
Where her? You got margaritas in that?
Aqua.
Agua. Your Spanish
Of the-
word.
Any whomever. I've had my text messages on the focus thingy Madoo.
Yep, I keep it on that.
What's the who?
Focus.
It's
Like,
a
do
iPhone
not
thing.
y'all
Do
got
not
iPhone?
disturb.
Yeah, like mine's on personal.
I'm ringing that bell reluctantly.
It's okay. You know, it's okay because I have my selected few people who
I have no desire
can
for
get
an
through.
iPhone.
It's okay. It's not that important.
Ignorant.
I have my selected few people who can get through. Because my phone, it does not stop and it becomes very overwhelming. It is a hindrance to my peace and it drains my energy.
That's
So I have children. If any of you are watching, I love you tremendously.
Children and adults.
Y'all can't get through.
No, I don't care if they 58 years old, they still my children. Y'all don't get through unless you call me.
don't tell the people the secret code
No, it's okay.
because
They
it's
can
gonna be
call me.
important.
They ain't gonna call me. My kids ain't gonna call
I'm
me.
talking about the other people.
Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is. Oh, no. I said my children.
Okay.
No.
All right.
So, yeah, that the D&D
Okay.
is how I've been filling my cup for the last 2 weeks, actually.
I filled my cup up with guacamole, chips.
From scratch?
No,
Your mother's Erica
from
Muria.
Kroger, and I don't-
Muria.
and I don't cook
You been
unless I
cooking?
feel like it. Unless I feel like it.
Okay, it's okay.
All right.
Paula.
Well, let me tell you what I filled my cup with last night. Okay, while I was in Jamaica, I discovered Bailey's and some Hennessy, and I tell you what,
It sound good.
I went and bought some, and it's good. So I filled my cup.
I
filling
agree.
my
Girl.
cup.
Bailey's is good.
Literally
Ding.
filling her cup.
And I've been
Off-
doing rum and Hennessy.
Off the record, I found that out.
You see her lips
I
when she
found
said with
that out off
rum
the
and
record.
Yeah, that
Off
rum
the
in
record, I
Jamaica,
found that
yeah.
out when I was about 19 years
I
old.
found that out right after
Like,
high school.
yeah,
Bailey's is
like-
the
See,
whip.
I had no idea.
All right. Well, welcome.
I have- I mean, for like, my mama probably thought I just started drinking last
2
year.
days ago.
It's
Thank you,
raw off the
Bailey's.
record.
Bailey's
Yeah,
is
in
good.
your coffee, you drink coffee?
Yes.
Try it in your coffee.
Put it
Yes.
in your coffee.
Oh.
Instead of the creamer, the flavored
Instead of
creamers and
creamer,
stuff.
put the Bailey's in it.
We are not
Oh,
promoting.
my.
No, because
Great
when y'all
idea.
see me with my great big Tim Hortons cup, I don't have no Bailey's in it. But
I'm
I
a Tim
might.
Hortons fan,
back
so,
then I
yeah.
did. Back then I did.
before
No, I
we
only
before
like
we
this
got to this
black.
point in our healing journey, and so that was the thing. And so I want to say thank you all for joining the conversation. I see the national team chiming in. I appreciate you, Janet Hill. I appreciate you, Lachetta, and many others that I can't see right now. You know how Facebook does; it don't show you all the people. But I appreciate you. We appreciate you all for always coming in and lending support and joining the conversation. This was very essential to talk about the necessity of maintaining your physical health and your mental health and receiving specialists as needed. This month, May, is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we thought it was really important to be vulnerable and to share more about our healing journey. And so we don't take this lightly, and we thank you for coming. And we thank you, Imani and Paula from what's y'all company called? Supreme Transitions.
No, what's your company called?
Hey, and shout out to my personal assistant, Miss Alice, over there sleeping in the corner.
So beautiful, Princess Fairy Alice. She heard her name and woke up. She ain't wake up when you said I leave. You got to say the official name.
Yep, and so we want to see you all right back here streaming live on the Single Mommy Hustle. We are live from Detroit is different, and we don't take it lightly. Thank you so much. And so that's the second and fourth Friday of each month.
So we here
Each
on the
month.
9th.
Yes.
On the 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
On the 9th, who we got?
We have who we got? Oh, Lupus Detroit.
Lupus
Lupus
Detroit.
Detroit.
The founder and executive director, Miss Sharon Harris, is coming with some friends, and I love her. We rock purple hearts, we rock purple ribbons for multiple reasons. And so we hope to see you soon. Thank you, and see you next time.
Bye.
Yeah, that was really good.